Now, today we're going to be talking about coping with election loss, okay? Kathomi is laughing. What is so funny about coping? Because
Look, but like if these are your problems, as in if elections are your problems, I mean you're a case on your own. But
listen,
it's
there are
okay.
people who actually carry, the election process heavy to heart. There are people who are diehard fans of the candidates. And when there's a loss, they have to cope with it. Let me tell you, my father, the man whose most emotional, moment was when he greeted me, during the school handover certificate thing. This man actually cried. The last election, like when the president was announced, I saw tears rolling down his face. And it was so weird to me. I'm like, this man has never hugged me. This man has never said, I love you, my daughter. But a president, you gonna cry for that? He was wearing a full suit. So now I'm imagining, what if... What if his candidate had lost? He needed, why are you laughing? A coping mechanism, to deal with life after loss. And number one is acceptance, okay? You need to accept that, yes, your candidate fought a good fight, but he has lost, And there are also families who actually invested a lot of money. And I saw a story about how some candidates, after investing so much money in the campaign process, and they lose, how much they go into debt, how some of them have committed suicide. So there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes beyond, yes, this is a winner, this is a loser. There are people who are coping with financial loss. So number one, accept, okay? Pesa ya campaign imeenda. Wewe kama ulikuwa candidate, the person you woke up at 4 a.m. to vote for, he lost. But it is okay because life needs to move, okay? And I don't know why this is funny to Kathomi. Why is it funny?
It's just funny because in general, if we really think about it, I don't know that I feel like we are speaking specifically to the people, the 14 million people that voted. Let's say that, not the rest of the people who decided not to vote and stayed at home. Okay, we're speaking to the 14 million. Now, another very important thing that you need to come to terms with is, do you know when you identify what a problem is, it helps you deal with it? For example, you're feeling a lot of feelings. But what are these feelings? When you get frustrated and you're just like, oh, you just want to punch something. Name that feeling. What is it you're feeling? Are you feeling angry? Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling, frustrated? What are these feelings? Start to define these feelings. When I say, by day, I am feeling angry. Now you'll be able to understand how to process that anger. I am feeling frustrated. Then you can be able to address that feeling as frustration and deal with it as that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're just there bottled up and you don't know what you're feeling, it's impossible for you to start to deal with it.
True.
So please, start to name your feelings. Okay.
And another thing, look at the facts, okay? Especially with the last election, there are people who are, coming up with theories, coming up with numbers, 0.01. You can actually just go to Kathomi's Instagram and just check out how she's doing the mathematics over there. And I'm like, girl, did you pass algebra? Is this where you're now applying X is equals to Y? So you just look at the facts, okay? Yes, this person has been named the winner. So why did this other person lose? If you're that invested, chukua kalamu, chukua calculator, look at the facts so that you know, for real, I was not bamboozled, I was not lied to. These are the facts and they're going to remain the same.
I feel like another very important thing that you need to do is to argue for the opposite. Oftentimes, we only understand what we know simply because we've been too focused on the information that we have, right? So, for example, you voted for Raila and you're trying to justify why he should have won, he should have won. Why not take a moment and look at the other people who voted for Ruto, which were clearly a larger number than you, and trying to understand why they decided that that would be the correct leader. Like, for example, what are his policies? What are these things that he's trying to promote? What are these things that he's going to try and create? I mean, what are these things that people saw, the merits of what he
Manifesto.
said? That manifesto ilikuwa inasema nini, so much so that 7 million people decided to vote for him.
Yeah.
Those are the things you need to start to look at and start to argue from their perspective.
Yeah.
Once you understand where they're coming from, then you might also understand that, okay, maybe we lost, but there are many good things that are about to happen for us, Yeah, something like
Another thing is limit your media consumption. This is just like a go-to. Whenever you're experiencing loss, heartbreak, you've been dumped, your candidate has lost, Achana na social media, because it is so unfair and so heartbreaking that you open your social media and the first thing you see is people celebrating. And you're like, but we lost. Why are you guys so happy? You know, you open your social media, you see crowds of people running up and down on the road celebrating your candidate. Of course, you're going to feel some type of way. You're going to feel bad. You're going to hate them. You're going to feel jealousy. So to avoid all of these things, just, you know, stay at home or go to work. Just limit the amount of time you're going to spend on social media looking at other people celebrating their victories, because that's where we go to, okay? If I have a win, I will go to social media so that my haters can know that I have won, okay? So you don't want to be the person consuming that.
They must know your ancestors are working for you. Another important one is focusing on what you can control. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like let's look at things from a very clear standpoint. Can you control an election? No. You are one person and there are 14 million people. One person cannot change anything. Your vote was counted along with these other people. And therefore, you focusing on, oh, if other people had voted, we would have been able to get this. Or if, you know, if we spoke about this, then it should have probably, blah, blah, blah. All of the things that you could not handle, all of the things that are above your control are really none of your business. So stop focusing on that and start focusing on other things. Now the election is over. Bei ya mafuta ikipanda utalipia aje, my friend. Ebu, let's start concentrating on things like that. Bei ya maziwa. Just say it can be the only income for some people. They might increase it. So let's just say, endo ujue venye utanunua bei ya maziwa ikipanda.
Listen, as we wind up, okay? As we wind up, please, for the love of God, resist the urge to be a keyboard warrior, okay? Resist, okay? Vumilia. Hata mtu akisema, oh, your candidate had a big head, resist the urge to say, no, your candidate had a big stomach. Just resist the urge to argue with people on social media. Because even the people you're you know, arguing about and name calling each other over are, you know, in their palatial homes, in their big houses, in their jacuzzi, in this, and you over here, braving the Nairobi cold, you want to fight somebody over social media, talking about pull up, hata niko hapa nje, kuja. No, resist the urge to engage with trolls, to engage with other people, and start abusing them on social media. Tafadhali, don't do that, okay?
Yeah, and finally, please, can you start dealing with more helpful coping mechanisms?
Yeah.
For example, start to reflect upon the fact that some people voted in Karen and